What's going on, guys? So as I've mentioned previously, I am going to be wrapping my car. I know I've been saying that for a long time, but it is coming. Trust me, this week is a little crazy and busy for me, but hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll happen next week. When it does, I will be sure to show you everything that I do, and I'm going to make a separate video for each panel that I work on. So if you have my same car or a similar car, you could see how I wrap those panels. And I will also link to other wrappers so that you could see people who are better than me at wrapping a car. But before I get to that point, I need to do some prep work, some basic prep, which is what I'm working on today and probably the rest of this week. And then I have specific prep that needs to happen right before I wrap the car. When that time comes, I'll show you that as well. But today, I'm going to be working on my rear wing. So I've shown this previously, but my wing has a flaw, which it happens to all Subarus of this vintage, where water gets under the rear wing and it sets there and it rusts. So today I'm going to be removing my rear wing and just kind of assessing the damage under there. If there's any rust, I'm probably going to sand it down, probably put down some primer, and I'm also going to try and weather seal around my wing so that it doesn't rust anymore. I'd rather take care of this issue now rather than wait till I go to wrap my car and deal with it then. Wrapping is something that's going to take at least 3 to 4 days minimum, and it's probably 3 days if you're a professional. So for me, it might be even 4 to 5 days, but it's already going to take a long time to do that. I don't want the headache of dealing with these issues popping up right when I'm trying to wrap. I'd much rather get them done sooner rather than later. So this is the weather seal that I have. It's D-shaped, 1/4 inch thick, 5/16 inch wide. It is from Frost King, which is a really corny mascot, but it's EPDM self-stick weather seal. Bought this at Home Depot. I'll drop a link to this in the description as well, and I'll let you know how it goes. I'll show you guys if it works well or not, but that's what I'm going to be doing today. There is some other basic prep work that I need to do. I will make separate videos for those. My hood scoop needs some work and whatnot. So all of that stuff needs to get taken care of before I even begin to do the general prep work right before I wrap my car.
I'm headed to the bottom of the bottle. I've been drowning, I've been floating away. Every other dollar that I got in bed, I probably went and pissed it away. I ain't feeling okay, I ain't liking it, babe. I don't even wanna talk, I'm just smoking my haze. I've been stuck in my ways, I've been stuck here for days. I've been staring at the clock as the radio plays. I'm enslaved. Yeah. Rolling another, I'm stuck in my seat from the whole control of my speech. Yeah, I've been trying to get off this couch for a minute and a whole damn week. No kidding, I'm skinny, I cannot eat. Got a million motherfuckers that depend on me. Yeah, every friend in my family, from a girl, every fan I meet myself. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down to make new thoughts, like jumping off of that rooftop. Whole life never when I do not to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's yo, steadily killing me, running my brain full of shame. I don't wanna lose it. Full of stage, trying to find my pain. I see the sun coming out of that rain. My day really not tame. I'ma never slow down. I'ma never behave. Stuck inside this prison, inside this cage. It's taking over. Yeah, I'm a slave for you. I'm a slave for you. Ripping harder, more less. Never stop, no rest. Till the stress is breath in my chest. Till it's diamonds wrapping my neck. Progress to a god from a goddamn mess. Hopeless, more tests. more blessed. Dug deep down trying to find my best. Find a beast, had to kill a conquest, I'm next. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down, make new thoughts, like jumping off of that rooftop. Hold my camera when I do enough to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's yours, steadily killing me, running my brain full of shame, I don't wanna lose it. I'm full of stage, trying to find my pain. I see something coming out of that rain. My team really not tame, I'ma never slow down, I'ma never behave. Stuck inside this prison, inside this cage, it's taking over, I'm a slave for you. Headed to the bottom of the bottle, I've been drowning, I've been floating away. Every other dollar that I got in bed, I probably went and pissed it away. I ain't fucking okay, I ain't liking it, babe. I don't even wanna talk, I'm just smoking my haze. I've been stuck in my ways, I've been stuck in for days. I've been staring at the clock as the radio plays. I'm enslaved. Yeah. Rolling another, I'm stuck in my seat for the whole control of my speech. Yeah, I've been trying to get off this couch for a minute and a whole damn week. No kidding, I'm skinny, I cannot eat. Got a million motherfuckers that depend on me. Yeah, every friend in my family, from a girl, every fan I meet myself. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down, make new thoughts, like jumping off of that rooftop. Hold my camera when I do nothing to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's yours, steadily killing me, running my brain full of shame, I don't wanna lose it. Full of stage, trying to find my pain. I see something coming out of that rain. My team really not tame, I'ma never slow down, I'ma never behave. Stuck inside this prison, inside this cage, it's taking over. Yeah, I'm a slave for you.
Alright guys, so that wraps up this video. A couple things. Number one, I actually found a nut that has been rattling around in my rear wing since I installed my parent wing stiffies about 8 years ago. It was always annoying. It would always rattle whenever I would open my trunk. So I was able to fish that out and put it back where it belongs. The second thing is I removed my wing stiffies temporarily because I will be wrapping this wing. So I need to reinstall them after I wrap it. I will make a video showing how to install them if anybody doesn't know. They're really not hard to install at all, and if anybody's worried about them falling out, they were actually kind of hard to remove, so they are not coming out, they're not going anywhere. In addition to that, I sanded down some rusty areas and coated them with a primer that's designed to cover over rust. Once I wrap my trunk, I don't have to worry about it rusting anymore, so I'm really not worried about that. But yeah, I wanted to take care of that, obviously. And that's one less thing that I have to do before I wrap it. This is what it looks like right now. You can see some of the primer under the wing. I am not worried about that because once I wrap it, you're not going to see it. And anybody who may stumble across this video and hasn't seen any of my other videos, my wing is screwed up, my paint is screwed up, everything's screwed up. So I'm not worried about my paint or it looking bad. Like I said earlier, I'm hoping to wrap this next week, so it shouldn't look like this too long. but I definitely need to knock out some of this prep work so that it doesn't take that much longer when I actually go to wrap my car. One thing I wanted to mention about this foam that I used is it was actually too thick. So I wasn't quite sure how thick the foam was that was there from the factory. It was all smashed down and falling apart, but this ended up being a little bit too thick. So even with it installed, with it squished down, it still created too much of a gap. So I went back and trimmed off the top of the D shape. If you come across foam that is, I don't know, maybe 1/8 of an inch thick or so, maybe 1/4 inch, I would just go with that, because this is a little bit too thick, but this very well may work for some other applications. But as far as being used on the underside of the wing, it is too thick, and it just makes the wing sit up a little bit too high, and it just does not look right. So like I said, once I trim this off, looks fine, looks OEM, and hopefully that will help prevent some of the water from getting under my wing and pooling under there, because you could tell that everything was rusted underneath there from the water that gets under there and sits there and rusts everything away. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.